Conover spun the pulsar through a corkscrew turn. The combined effects of thrusters and gravitors, and the powerful blur drive pushing the mech through maneuvers more typical of something atmospheric. But they were nowhere near an atmosphere unless you counted the thick, sludgy shroud of toxic vapors veiling the nearby gas giant. It was the lonely white dwarf star's sole companion, here on the fringe of the Milky Way. Okay, not quite sole companion. There was also the monstrous thing trying to kill him. As the pulsar spun, the view shifted from many stars to few, over and over, because this really was the galactic fringe. There simply wasn't much galaxy left to rimward, just a smattering of old, dim stars and a few wispy tendrils of dust. Then nothing whatsoever for literally millions of light years. But Conover wasn't here to admire the view. "Kristen, any luck with those countermeasures?" he asked.
"Nope, not so far. It's kind of ironic, actually. This guy seems to be a lot older than the other deeper remnants we've been encountering. I'm having to backcode things on the fly to find something that works."
Conover just grunted and kept maneuvering. Kristen, the AI that oversaw the vastly complex system of systems that was the pulsar, wasn't just good at what she did. She was the best. Over nearly 140 years of flying with her, he'd come to know her better than, well, anyone. Amy had definitely been up there, of course, his wife, lover, and best friend until the day she died. But he'd never been melded with Amy, never shared a place called consciousness with her, the way he had Kristen. He knew Kristen would eventually solve this problem. He just had to avoid letting this deeper destroy them both in the meantime. Another blast of coherent gamma rays sizzled past the pulsar. Most of the so-called deeper remnants, leftovers from a war now more than 130 years ended, weren't this heavily armed. This one, though, couldn't just hit hard. It could take the best the pulsar could dish out in return. All deeper constructs like this one, a self-aware ship the size of a corvette, could self-repair. But this one was damnably good at it. The damage he wrought with dark lances and nova cannons vanished almost as fast as he could inflict it. Fortunately, the vast majority of the deepers they'd fought so long ago weren't nearly so capable. There'd only been a few, but here was another one, hidden in obscure solitary slumber in this remote and nameless star system. Then one of the realm's stellar survey teams had inadvertently roused it, making it a problem that urgently needed fixing. Another grazer shot nearly clipped him. He flung the pulsar through a hard, skidding series of jinking turns, desperate to degrade the thing's targeting solutions. How or why this attacker ended up here in the first place was and would forever remain a mystery, though. They'd encountered dozens of these deeper remnants since the war, all just as enigmatic. Speculation about them abounded. Maybe they'd been left by the Deepers as booby traps, a last defiant act of a defeated foe. Maybe they'd just been scattered in the wake of defeat, or maybe they had some other inscrutable purpose. Not that it really mattered. All that did was that they were found and destroyed before they could. Another grazer blast flashed out from the pursuing Deeper. Conover was already slewing the pulsar through a hard yaw, but too slowly, and this time in the wrong direction. He swung into the grazer beam, and the potent blast of energy slammed into the mech's starboard hip and leg. Armor flashed to vapor. The mech's primary hip actuator failed. The scattershot battery went offline, and Conover felt it all through the meld. A surge of sensation that wasn't pain exactly, but still a keen awareness of injury. He cursed, then cursed again because it had been his own damn fault. He spun the pulsar the other way, then yawed back to starboard, seeing and taking a fleeting opportunity to snap out a few Darklance shots. Two struck the Deeper, slashing into its armored prow. Conover's satisfaction was short-lived, though. The alien construct would already be healing, its weird chitinous fusion of organic and inorganic stuff smoothing over the damage he just inflicted. "Any time, Kristen." "I'm working on it. Think I'm almost there." "You think you're almost there?" "Okay, I'm pretty sure. Is that better?" "Not really."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.